Hi everyone and welcome to my channel. I hope you're all doing well. Welcome if you're new here, and if you're a return subscriber, thank you so much for all your views and support. I'd like to also thank those who've sent donations. It really means a lot and motivates me to keep going. If any of you would like to send a donation or a gift, then the links are in the description box where you can do so. So this reading is going to be some global predictions. This kind of links to my last couple of readings. A lot of you who are regular viewers will know that my readings often link. And I was hearing this morning, it's because I'm a deep diver. So obviously I look at something and then sometimes more comes through in subsequent readings and channelings. So that's what I'm going to do in this reading, and I'm also going to extend it to go even deeper, if that's possible. And my extended readings are, for those of you who might be interested, for members here on my channel, the AB Extension, or on my Patreon membership for True Seeker members. So the links to those are in the description box, and I'll put them in the pinned comment as well. If you're interested, members, I'll see you there after this reading. So the first thing I'm going to share is something I've recently picked up on actually, which is a heavy collective energy. We had it a while back, and I said I thought it would ease, which I feel it did. I feel it's got heavier. Now some of you could be experiencing Ascension symptoms, which I've been as well, I've got to say. There are many, but one common one is waking up very early, say 2, 3, 4, 5 a.m. Waking up suddenly, like you've been woken up. Physical pains, aches and pains. You might suddenly get a cold, or it's like the flu and then it goes. That's Ascension flu. And all these things are like due to your upgrade as you're ascending. You're downloading light codes and you're like releasing lower vibrational energies from your body. So I feel that that's happening at the moment for some, those who are ascending. It happens at different times though, so don't worry if it's not happening now. This could be to come. So that's why I'm sharing this in the predictions. Some of you may feel this intensify in the future, but I really feel it's happening at the moment for some because the end is drawing nearer, I was hearing. So when I say that, obviously I mean the end of the world as we know it, which I've said in a lot of readings. The enemy is like ramping it up, which I've been speaking about in the collective, strange things happening in terms of people's behaviour, because the enemy is trying to take as many as he can to his side, basically, before the split happens in the world, which I still see. So be mindful of your energy as well. Try to stay balanced and aligned, and be mindful of those around you. I know some of you have said in the comments you've noticed as well strange happenings, strange behaviours going on around you. Okay, you might just hear purring. Ellie's just jumped up on my lap for some attention. She's been doing that recently, as some of you will know, and joining in readings as well. So, let's see, what else do we have to share? Yeah, I'm going to say also about AI deception. I feel that's going to increase. Now, I've said in previous readings about the fact that there will be deception in the future. And I think in my last reading, or the one before, I said about the fact that people are going to be deceived by what they see, in particular videos of people talking. I've seen a couple online. I've just been reminded by Spirit, yes, this is why this came up. The other day I was watching a video on YouTube and an ad popped up. It was about 2 minutes long. I don't usually watch, well, I watch some of them because obviously you support a creator, by the way, if you watch the ads. But if it's something I don't like, then I might not watch it. I kept watching this one. It was a man talking, an old man, and after about half a minute, I thought, hold on a second. He kept doing the same after 30 seconds. He was doing this with his hands and then this gesture, kind of pointing to himself and then putting his hands out. After 30 seconds, he did exactly the same gesture, like that. And then after another, I think it was about 30 seconds, the same. So it was like a repeat of his body. It was on loop. And what he was saying was different. And I was looking at his mouth, and even that looked fake, like the movements. So I could see that was a fake AI clip. And there's more out there. I think, as I said, I mentioned this in my last reading or so, that this is going to happen more. So just be mindful, because it could be manipulated clips of even people you trust, celebrities, and they've taken a video of that person, manipulated the voice, because they can do that without AI, manipulated the mouth movements and just sort of got the body there. Could be like a 5-minute clip on loop of the body. That's what came through to me. It was really bizarre the way that happened, but I feel that happened for a reason. So that's going to increase, and there's going to be a lot of confusion. People believing some of these AI videos, content that's already out there as well, content here on this platform and on others as well, where sometimes it's not even a person, it's just a voice, and it's just AI created. Well, who created that? You might want to ask yourself. Like there's quite a few where it says, just an example here, like God Speaks is like the title of the channel, the name of the channel, and they're sharing things with people. Now, there's nothing wrong with sharing the word, obviously, if that's what they're doing. However, if you want to communicate with Spirit, with God, then you will do that in your own way, won't you? It's not God speaking in a lot of that content. It might be, with some people who are channeling, spiritual people. There are real, authentic spiritual people on these platforms. But at the same time, there's also, as I said, the enemy ramping it up, wanting to get this content out there to confuse people, take them down the wrong path, to tempt them, I'm hearing, tempt them to do things. Sorry for that noise, everyone, it's just Millie. She's just getting comfortable here on my lap. So yeah, that's a big one, I feel, because I'm already seeing it starting, and there's going to be more of that deception. It kind of links to something else that came through, people praising what will happen eventually even more. It's already happening now. people praising evil and persecuting the good. Now this, I feel, actually links to my last true crime reading. It's the last video I posted. If you haven't seen it, check it out. Where it's quite apparent that there's this battle happening, spiritual battle between good and evil, in terms of who is innocent and who's guilty, who's involved, and also people's opinions. People are very divided. There's an example. And there are other things as well, like that, where you've got the dark forces coming in saying, but wait, look at this evidence. And then it goes out in the press and people believe it. Do any of you believe what you see in the press? I mean, some is true. I'm not saying it's not all. But a lot of it, as a lot of us know, is not. It's all governed by that puppet master behind the curtain, whiz behind the curtain, putting out the same story that they all then share and people believe. Now, a lot have awakened to this, but some haven't. I mean, I'm still surprised when I saw it the other week, someone going to a newsagent that came out with a newspaper, I won't name it, sounds like bun, and I thought, wow, do people really buy that? Seems they do. But, you know, like people that think, right, let's go and hear the daily news, the truth. There are still those out there that do that. No judgment, but I'm just sharing this because you've got to consider where this stuff comes from, who's putting it out there. We do, however, I'm going to say, have more truth coming to light as well. Light workers who want the truth to get out there. I believe that's going to increase potentially next year as well. There's going to be more truths coming to light. Now, this could be for you personally or at a global scale, let's say. If any of you saw my recent charms reading, you may remember that we had a snowflake come out. It was in the east, and I was just feeling suddenly this snowstorm swooping across the world, possibly from the east. I'm still seeing that, and I'm seeing that it could shut down countries for a while, maybe up to a week. Everything stops, and it will get extremely cold during that time. I feel that it will make people reflect and go within a lot, actually. Maybe bring about more spiritual awakenings for people. I'm also seeing earthquakes again. This has come out in previous predictions readings. A lot of increase in natural disasters. I know I said this in the last predictions reading for 2026. We're seeing it happening already. I mean, it's interesting what I've said about floods in the UK. And if any of you are in the UK, have you noticed how the rain has been persistent and really heavy? We recently had another storm here. So you see, it's ramping up. We're getting signs in the weather. So just pay attention to that. And I have to say that when the weather is manipulated, which it is sometimes, I feel that something may be put out there into the atmosphere. I am seeing a link with this snowstorm, you know, something artificial. So the snow might not even be real, and people could be sick. And that's when, again, the deception comes in and people are offered a cure, in inverted commas, that helps them and will eliminate any possibility of them getting worse or getting it again. But there's something that's going to be in that, I feel. So a lot of deception. I think that's the main thing that I want to share here in these predictions, that it's going to increase, I feel. So trust your intuition, everyone. Not everything you see and read is the truth. A lot of you know that, but there are still people out there that just think what they see and are told is true. You know, as I said, oh, here's a cure, come and take it and you'll be fine, and people just go and get it. I mean, how do you know what's in that? But anyway, it's up to you and it's up to them, obviously. So I'm going to finish with a card, possibly for guidance or anything else Spirit wants to share with us in this reading. And then I'll continue it in the extended. Now, Millie's not here now, so she's clearly not going to pick a card for us today, but okay, that one. Wow. Everyone, we got cycles. Well, that really resonates, doesn't it? Because it links to something I've said before about the cycles we've gone through, the repeated patterns in history. Things happening again. So as I said about disease getting out there and then a cure, that's gone on for years. I think in my last predictions reading I mentioned the plagues, the Black Death, because that's what came through channeled. That's what's still going on. The deception, the false people talking on camera, on newspapers, wherever it might be, people being deceived. That's what we're going to find out about as well in terms of the truth coming to light. I'm seeing this like the Chariot in Tarot as well, which is a sign of victory. And there's the sun behind him, which is positive, a sign of healing. Someone here who brings us good news, someone appearing in the clouds. So this could be prophetic as well. Victory, the truth, strength, triumph with the horses coming through here as well. This could relate to some of you at a personal level as well, in terms of repeated patterns and cycles in your life, karmic cycles and situations that happen for us to learn spiritual lessons and grow. And what you'll find, say for example it's a relationship that ends, if you didn't learn the lesson, then you might repeat the same cycle with other people until you learn the lesson and are victorious, like we're seeing in this card. In terms of this card, I just wanted to point out that we've got Helios here, the Greek titan of the sun, who drives the chariot as the sun rises each day. And I'm just reading from the book here, by the way, a little bit, because this is quite a new deck for me. The rhythm and cycle of the passing sun is the catalyst to countless other cycles, such as those of growth, temperature and season. Pagan people watched all the seasonal cycles carefully to ride with them, not against them. This is a lesson we could learn from today. Yeah, definitely. Working with the moon, sun energy, tides as well is something we used to do, and we've lost so many of these things and this knowledge. that we had. So I feel that's a sign as well that we're going to learn things in the future and grow and change the way we approach things as well. Sort of go back to basics, even in terms of the way we cook, live our lives. It's going to be simpler, I feel, different from what it is today. So Spirit's also just saying to me, for some of you at a personal level, is it time to break a habit? You know, look at the patterns and cycles in your life, the productive ones and the ones you'd rather interrupt, for example. And with the Chariot, you know, you can overcome these things and move on with victory, which I'm seeing in this card. So trust your intuition. You know, a lot of people grow out of relationships, I'm just being guided to say, as well. Whether it's friends, family, people you've known a long time. Some of you might be going through that at the moment, actually, yeah. Just being guided to share this, where you've grown out of things you used to like doing. They no longer bring you pleasure. As I said, whether it's a job, hobby, relationship, whatever it might be. And it could be that you want to break out of those patterns that you've lived for a long time because you're changing and evolving. As are many of us. I'm seeing this as like Ascension here as well, which I mentioned at the beginning. So that links, brings us back in a cycle to the beginning of the reading. So I'm going to end that there, everyone, and now go on to extend the reading, as I said. So if you'd like to join us for that, please do. Please do consider becoming a member, where you'll get additional readings and content from me. The links are in the pinned comment. If you're interested in joining, or current members, I'll see some of you there as well. Thank you so much for being here. Please do let us know your feelings in the comments as well. You can all support each other in this community. Please do subscribe if you haven't done already, so you can view extra content, or the content that I put out rather, when it comes out. Thank you for being here, sending peace, love and light to you all.